The Middle of the Pack podcast.
What a sliding doors moment that was, because if I was 30 seconds slower or 30 seconds whatever, like he would have gone past me or whatever, and he wouldn't encourage me to keep going, I would have gone home and I wouldn't be here talking to you.
And that's Ruairi O'Hagan, this week's guest, and this week is episode 20 of the Middle of the Pack podcast. A very special episode because when I was researching podcasts, they were saying very few get past episode 3, episode 4, and a very tiny amount get to episode 20. So I'm delighted to get to episode 20, and I'm delighted to have Ruairi O'Hagan as my guest. When I was a leader of the Runner's Diary podcast, Cork City Marathon, he interviewed me as part of his role in Red FM, and that was a big moment for me, and it's even a bigger moment to have him as a guest on the show, so I'm delighted that he did. So this is a lovely conversation between the two of us, and this is where we kick it off, where he's just talking about kind of 6 weeks on from the Dublin City Marathon.
So it's been, 6.5 weeks since the Dublin Marathon? Haven't run since, and the problem with that now, Padraig, is laziness has crept in.
Oh, no.
Lack of motivation has crept in, and also becoming a fat git has crept in as well, because I'm just eating all around me. I was doing that in the build up to the marathon, which is grand because you can say, I'm carb loading. All I was doing was eating pasta. I was sick of pasta coming up to the marathon. But then when you're not running, like, to burn off all those calories, it just goes on so quickly. So I need to get back on it. I think the fact that I'm talking to you tonight for the Middle of the Pack podcast is going to give me some motivation, and it has given me some motivation. So what I've done is I've actually gotten my gear bag ready. It's down waiting for me at the front door. So when I go to work in the morning, I'll take that with me. And when I finish work tomorrow, I'm going to try and go for a 5-mile run. A friend of mine is a sports psychologist, and that was one of the tips he gave me. Was when I was struggling with motivation and not being able to just get out of that funk. He was like, get your gear ready, have it waiting by the front door. So when you're going to work, you have to pass it. So then you have to make a conscious decision of whether to ignore it or whether to pick it up. And if you ignore it, it'll be at you all day. So that's what I've done. Is I've now got my gear bag ready. I have my Watergrasshill singlet, I have my orange shorts, my famous orange shorts, my runners are in there, and my Dublin Marathon top, because I need to remind people that I've done the Dublin Marathon when I go for a run. Do you know what I mean, Paul? It's essential, really. So why else would you do the Dublin Marathon, like? So that's waiting for me at the front door. So that was one of the best tips I think I've ever gotten, was have your gear bag waiting for you at the front door, so you have to pass it, and then you have to make a decision whether or not you're going to go out and run or whether you're going to ignore it. And if you ignore it, I guarantee it'll annoy you all day.
Yeah. I found it difficult coming out of the training blocks, not having that target at the end of at the end of 12 weeks or whatever. The motivation needs a race or needs something or needs a goal, like, And
it certainly does. Like, and we're coming into Christmas now as well. I'm very conscious of that, because obviously Christmas is a time, well, for me anyway, of eating and drinking to excess. So I need something to burn that off and just get out and about. So if I don't get back to it now, it'll be over 2 months since I've gotten back and done any serious run. I'm missing the gym as well quite a lot. I was in the gym 2 or 3 times a week coming up to the marathon, which was a massive help, and I'm really missing that as well. But you know yourself, Paddy, once you get out of that routine, and once the laziness creeps in, and once that apathy towards training comes in, and as you say yourself, if you don't have a goal to focus on, it just disappears so quickly. Because I was like, coming up to Dublin now, I was in a really good place. I was like, this is great. I'm loving my running. I'm loving my training. I can't wait to get Dublin done, have a rest for a week, and get right back into it and do another marathon as soon as I can. My body, unfortunately, had other ideas. About 3 or 4 days afterwards, I was putting something into the dishwasher, and I just leant over, and something in my back went, and I screamed in agonizing pain. And my wife came down. She was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, it's my back. I'd never felt pain like it in my entire life. So when I was getting out of chairs, like, I had to I was hunched over when I got out of a chair. I had to literally push myself up with my hands to get back upright. And even then I was kind of walking, and my physio treated me and stuff like that. And he was saying, I can't remember what the name of it was, but something was rubbing up against something that shouldn't have been rubbing up against. So I've been doing a lot of stretch work and a lot of groundwork and stuff to try and loosen it out. And then your head starts getting other ideas as well. And it is quite a vicious circle to get out of. But I'm hoping now by talking to you tonight, which has certainly helped me. And hopefully by going for a run tomorrow, I'll snap out of that.
I find as well, though, I mentioned him a lot, and I must get him on myself now to the podcast. Kieran McKeown is my coach.
Mm.
And having that accountability, even though he doesn't push you, but knowing that you're going to get a program through, it does kind of give you the old kick up the bum that you need to get out.
It does, but like my coach has been sending me on plans regardless, but like, and he's texted me going, how's your back? And I'm saying, look, it's not great. But I think at this stage, it's grand. It's just, I'm just saying it's not great. So I don't want him to get annoyed at me for not going out running. Do you know what I mean? So he has been sending me on plans and I'm not been doing them. And that's been kind of bothering me as well. Cause I'm kind of just wasting his time. If he's doing plans for me and I'm not following them, I'm just wasting his time. So yeah, it's just a case. I feel like I'm going to be starting again when I finally get back out running tomorrow, which I hope isn't the case because I really just want to get back into it. But I need to have something to plan for. I need to have something to focus on. I need to pick a race and I need to just focus and go for that. I have no idea yet. I haven't even looked at the calendar for next year yet. I was hoping to do 2 marathons next year. One in kind of late spring, one in kind of maybe Dublin Marathon direction again. Maybe not Dublin Marathon because it's impossible to get into this year or next year. The Chester Marathon is on 2 weeks before that, which seems like a good one to do because you'll be training all during the summer with all your friends and teammates who are doing the Dublin Marathon. So it'd be a handy one to do. I think it's literally the 11th of October or the 10th of October, whenever it is. So I think that would be a good one to do. But I think if I just sign up for them before Christmas, it'll give me the kick up the arse I need as well, you know.
Yeah, that's definitely what's needed. I saw you at an awards night. Well, it was last night as we record, but it'll be last week as we're listening. That must have been good for your club.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, like, there's so many amazing runners in our club, and it was great to honour them. We expanded the awards this year as well. We normally just had most improved runner and best newcomer. We expanded that to most improved male and female and male and female newcomer, just to give as many people as possible awards who are deserving of them. And we had an incredible night. It was just good to have everyone together, and you know, when running nerds get together, all we're doing is talk about running for the night anyway.
And you're the chairman, aren't you?
I'm the chairman of the club. Yeah, I've been the chairman of the club for the past 2 years. I'll be the chairman again next year, and that's a huge honour as well.
Yeah.
Like, I hadn't been in the club all that long when I became the chairman. I just thought it'd be something I'd like to do. I'm good with people. I like working with people, and I like planning, and I like organising, and I just thought it'd be something to do. I was on the committee as PRO for 2 years before that, and I really enjoyed it. There's some great people there, and I thought if these people hang around, then it's not going to be too hard to do, and that's kind of what it has been. It's been an absolute pleasure to be the chairperson. I know people say it's a lot of pressure and all that, and there's a lot of balls to juggle, and there's some politics, and you've got to keep everyone happy. And it hasn't been hard with Watergrasshill at all, because, like, I know everyone probably says that about their own club, but we are full of not just amazing runners, but amazing people. And our committee is genuinely incredible, Patrick. I mean, like, I feel like I don't do any work. I feel like they do all the work, and I'm just kind of there to facilitate it.
Yeah.
And I think that's half the key. If you have a good, strong committee, that's half the battle, more than half the battle, I'd say. And I'm very fortunate that I do, and I have the officers of the club then, who I work a little bit closer with. They all share the same ideas as me for how to grow the club and how to, I suppose, honour our current members and try and get everyone involved with the club. And like, we've organised a lot more kind of club get-togethers and stuff like that. We have club trips. We do our annual kind of day trip down to the Surf, Turf and Tar and Clonakilty, or Roscarbery, I should say, which is always a great day out on the bus. And like, there's a gang going to Malaga this weekend for the annual club's winter sun trip. And they're doing halves and fulls this weekend. And it's a really, really nice club to be a part of. Like, I moved to Watergrasshill 8 years ago last week, and it was during COVID 2021. My friend Conor Milan, who you might know through Simply Suits, he had done my wedding suits a few years previous, and when I moved to Watergrasshill, it turned out he was my neighbour. And then I saw on the Watergrasshill kind of community Facebook page that he was doing a running group for beginners. So I text Conor. I said, look, I've kind of nothing to do here. I kind of want to get out of the house. Can I go down and join you? He said, oh yeah, not a bother. We meet at the school. We'll do a few miles. And I was like, a few miles, that'll be grand. So,
and was this your starting running?
This is my starting. Now, I had run a bit before. Like, I had boxed a bit years before that, and I was doing road running to stay fit for that, coming up to fights and stuff. But I never really kind of ran properly. And like after COVID, like my fitness routine had gone down the drain, hadn't been doing anything. So it was kind of a year of just sitting in my arse and drinking and eating. So when I saw Connor put that up, I was like, do you mind going to give this a go? So we met at the school to do a few miles. But the first night I couldn't run 2 miles. I was about a mile and a half in, and I was like, I had to stop. I was like, I'm not enjoying this at all. This is rubbish. I'm never going to come back again. I kind of started to walk about a mile and a half in, kind of close to my house, where I was just going to kind of peel off from the rest of the group and slink off home with my tail between my legs and never see any of these people again. But if it wasn't for one of who's now one of my closest friends, Dennis Cronin, he had caught up with me and he said, "Are you all right?" And I said, "No, look, I'm just going to walk there." He goes, no, come on, away with me there now. And we'll just run another bit. So he's like, "Come on, we'll run there again." So he made me run for a minute, and we walked for a minute, run for a minute, walked for a minute. So he got me back around. And if it wasn't for Dennis catching up with me at that point and encouraging me to keep going, I would have gone home and I never would have run again. So like, I'm not sure Dennis knows just how much of a big impact he's had on me. And what a sliding doors moment that was, because if I was 30 seconds slower or 30 seconds whatever, like he would have gone past me or whatever, and he wouldn't encourage me to keep going, and I would have gone home. I wouldn't be here talking to you.
It's amazing. You say your club is good, and I found the same just with the general running community, and even with like since the Cork Marathon, I've joined the Eagle AC, and it's the same thing. There's just a hugely supportive, encouraging community. And what I love after a race is that there's so many people from different clubs that all know each other, and everyone is just meeting up and encouraging each other. And it's amazing. Like,
yeah, that's the thing I say about running in Cork and that Cork running community. There's no BS. Well, certainly not that I've come across, and I'm sure there probably is, but I haven't seen it. Like, I've made so many good friends, not just from Watergrasshill, but from the likes of Eagle, yourselves, and just from clubs all around Cork, who I genuinely love seeing at races, who I genuinely love spending time with, who I genuinely love catching up with after races, who I genuinely love training with. I mean, like the amount of people from other clubs who helped me get to the start line in Dublin, not just members of my own club, but just friends I've met through going to races and from just sending them messages on Strava or Instagram. That's how I met you. I reached out to you when I saw that you were doing the Runner's Diary Marathon Leaders Program. And I said, look, I had done that and it was a great thing. I just wished you all the best for it. And that's how I met you, and that's how we got to know each other. And that's like, and I've had people reach out to me as well like that, saying, "Hey, sorry, blah, 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 blah." And you just get to know these people, and then you feel like you become friends with them quite quickly because you got something major in common, this life-changing, wonderful hobby that you have called running. And it brings us all together, and it kind of, I'd like to think it brings out the best in me, but it certainly brings out the best in everyone else as well, I think. What I find quite wonderful as well is that people who you run with, who are obviously quite fitter than you and can run faster than you and can run further than you, have no issues or qualms, complaints about slowing down for you, about waiting for you to help you and to encourage you along. And like, you're probably the same as me. You kind of feel a little bit guilty. You're like, I'm ruining their run now. They could be running like a minute per kilometre faster. They could be doing an extra 10k after this. I'm ruining their day. But it's about runners helping runners, and it's about friends helping friends. And you learn that very, very quickly. And that runners who say that they run to help you mean it. They're not just saying it. They're not going to run with you for the first 5k and go, "Now you're too slow for me. I'm going to take off." They're people who want you to improve, will help you improve, and they'll stay with you, and they'll see you when you're in the trenches and you're in the horrors and you're 5k away from your car and you can't go on, but they'll make you go on. And there's something magically wonderful about that, I think.
Yeah. And do you do a lot of work trying to encourage people to join the club, or is that a difficult task?
It can be. I mean, like Tom now, who's been organising our speed sessions on Wednesday nights and long runs of the weekends, Tom has done just tremendous work of kind of, and Maeve, our PRO as well, even by just publicising it, has done tremendous work of getting new people in to the club. So it's great to see a number of new faces have already signed up for next year, and it's great to see new people come in. Obviously people leave, that's sad. We always wish them well. There's never any animosity when people leave our club. It's always a tough decision when people decide to leave a club, and it's always tough for us to see them go, but we always wish them well. And we're going to see them on the roads, and we're going to still be friends, and we're still going to be running, whatever. Watergrasshill is quite a small village, I suppose, and running is quite a niche sport. Now, we're lucky to have a very solid core kind of established adult membership, along with a very, very strong juvenile section, which continues to grow. And I suppose it's fantastic to see so many young runners at our club wearing orange at cross-country events and various other events as well. And it's great to see young runners come along. But it is, I suppose, hard to attract new runners. I mean, like, we have done Couch to 5Ks, which have brought people in. We've had we've had flyer drops, we've had social media posts online, and January is a good time because a lot of people want to kind of get that New Year's resolution saying, I'd love to start running. And it's like, my argument is always like, just go running. Just put one foot in front of the other and you can call yourself a runner. It's not that hard. People kind of build it up in their minds. And I was kind of a little bit like that as well, Padraig, I think, as well. When I was kind of approaching Watergrasshill, I was like, sure, like, everyone's going to be way faster than me. I'm not going to be able to run. And like, they're all just going to laugh at me. And there's going to be these elite runners who are like elite Kipchoge or whatever, like, you know what I mean? And it's, you know yourself, it's not like that at all. Clubs are just wonderful places of encouragement, and just if you feel like you're not good enough to join a running club, just get that thought out of your head. Talk to people at the club. Come on down. People will be more than happy to help you on your journey, because they all had to start somewhere as well. We all had to start somewhere as well. It's about giving back to the sport that has given you so much. And so every runner I know is going to be more than happy to help another to start their journey. And it gives me great pleasure to see the people that I've mentored over the years, to see them go from 5K to 10Ks to half marathons to like marathons. My sister Maeve is an example of that. She's a huge inspiration for me. She went off running marathons there like it wasn't anything last year, and that gave me huge motivation to get my arse in gear as well. Last year, I mean, like, I hadn't been doing much running last year. In 2024, I'd done the marathon in 2023, and I lost all my motivation. I didn't, after the Cork City Marathon, I lost all my motivation. It was kind of a weird kind of mental thing. I'm not sure if you experienced this after your first marathon, Padraig, but it was like, I'd done my first marathon. What else is there to do? And I kind of lost a bit of motivation after that.
No, I was buzzing after Cork. Dublin was a little bit harder to come back. But Cork, I was like, I think we had the after party in Clancy's, and I was going, I'm saying I just have to do Dublin. I was mad for it, like, but having done Dublin, then I got a little bit kind of, you know, the long runs became a little bit of a dose.
A bit of a chore, yeah. But I mean, like, just to rewind the clock a bit, I suppose, to last year, it was last August of 2024, was just over a year from the Cork City Marathon that I'd done, and I'd done that in 4:42, and kind of lost all motivation for running at that point. I was injured afterwards, of course I was. Didn't enjoy my running, couldn't get my head back into it. Weight piled back on. I was about 88 kilos, and if not more. And it was around September, October time, I think it was, of 2024, when I was going to my cousin's wedding, and none of my suits would fit me. So I was trying to get into a suit, because I did the classic, like, Corkman thing of when you go to a wedding, you just find any suit in the in the wardrobe and you throw that on for the wedding. I don't need to prepare at all. None of them would fit me. Trying to get a pants on, I was like sucking everything in, trying to pull this thing in. I think I might have done a hernia trying to get this pants closed, and I genuinely had a mini little panic attack about the fact that, like, what am I doing here? Like, none of my suits fit me. I've completely let go of myself. No fitness. Haven't run. Haven't gone to the gym. What am I going to do here? Like, you know, eventually, somehow, I don't know how, one of the pants fit me, so I just put that on. I was like, grand. It was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever done, because I felt like I had to hold my breath in all the entire day so my pants would fit me. But my wife just said to me, she was like, will you phone Charlie? Now, Charlie was my former strength and conditioning coach. He was working out of Training for Hours in Fort Hill, which then became Legacy Gym. And I hadn't seen Charlie since COVID. And I was like, I kind of felt a bit awkward phoning, and I was like, I hadn't seen him. I kind of just had drifted away a little bit from the gym after COVID. But she used to just give him a ring. So I gave him a ring. He was delighted to hear from me. He said, yeah, come on up. Charlie got me in a program, and it was that accountability that I needed. So Charlie helped me with my weight and my strength, and I started running again, and I started enjoying my running again. Most importantly, my weight was coming down. and I was feeling stronger, I was feeling fitter, my running was going good. And it was that point I text Stevie Rooney, my running coach. I didn't want to engage Stevie as a coach if I didn't think I was going to be able to do the programs and the plans that he was going to do for me. So it was around February, I think I kind of just got a bit confident enough. I text Stevie, look, do you have the capacity to take me on? He was delighted to hear from me. And then after that, just everything started clicking into place. I got my weight down to 75 kg by about March and just pushed on, and everything was going really, really well all the way through the summer. Trained really, really well. Pace went way up, which was great. And as I say, that it kind of peaked with that run in the Skibbereen half. Coming out to Dublin, a few niggles, few missed weeks. I definitely think for Dublin, I was about 2 long runs short. I'd done a couple of 20 milers faster than my target pace for the marathon, and I felt comfortable enough. But whatever it was at Dublin, the 20-mile mark just came up and hit me like a ton of bricks. I just faded completely. Wheels came off. I know Dublin, it was a tough day, Padraig. I mean, like the weather it was rainy, it was windy,
Cold.
and cold, very, very cold at the start. It took me ages to warm up. I was sick that week as well. I had a very bad head cold, and like all the Sudafed and Uniflu couldn't do anything for me, to the point where I was looking back at my stats and my heart rate was really kind of elevated right from the start compared to where it was in the long runs just like 2 weeks ago. But like and it's quite hilly as well. I mean, like there's a couple of hills there. There's a big hill going up through a tunnel at one point. You go down and then you go in. That nearly broke me. Heartbreak Hill wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, or I had it built up in my head. It's actually quite short. It's actually just an intense burst. But just the 20-mile mark, the wind and the hills had caught up with me. I wasn't feeling 100%. And I was just like, oh God, I'm 6 miles away from home here. What am I going to do? And I was like, I'm going to walk a little bit of this now. So I was going to walk a little bit of it, but Colette O'Donoghue from Watergrasshill is an incredible runner, an incredible pacer, but more than anything else, an incredible friend. So she agreed to pace me to Dublin Marathon for the Dublin Marathon, and I was trying to strategically fall behind but through the side so she couldn't see me and she'd run off without me, because I felt bad that I was slowing her down. I felt bad that I was messing up a marathon for her, and I felt bad that like this isn't going to plan for me, so like why should she have to suffer? But she was like, no, come on. I was going to walk. She's like, no, come on. She's the one who kept me going, and if it wasn't for her, I would have been walking a lot for the last 6 miles. I'm glad I didn't, because I still finished the marathon running, cramped up about 2 miles, about 1.5 miles coming home, because I was running. Well, I was running with walking with a running motion at this point, but someone directly in front of me cramped up and stopped. The girl behind him cut across me to avoid him, smacked into me, which caused me to stop and cramp and seize up, which was horrendous. And I was like, no, it's gone here now. But there was a steward there and he held me up and he's like, come on, let's go. So after 20 seconds, I just got going again, thankfully, and Colette was still there with me. She kept me going. And I was like, grand. And you get to the last, 500 meters, you turn the corner in, crowds are there and everyone is buzzing. You turn a corner for the last 200 meters, and all you hear is, hey! And Graham is there taking a photograph. And the buzz and the adrenaline and the atmosphere and the people, and you can see the time, you can look at your watch, you're under your target. You're like, this is heckin' amazing. And then 10 meters from the finish line, my hamstring went.
Oh no.
I just seized up. I went, ah! And so you can see the videos of me just hobbling over the line. But Jesus, I will never forget that finish line. I'll never forget just the atmosphere in Dublin, pretty much all the way around. The people just come out and they're hundreds. And that support, like when you're in a dark place and you hear the shouts of, like, you hear Cork people going, oh, go on the hill, or go on Watergrasshill, or people you know on the side, like, go on, roaring. That's a massive, massive help. Self and Clack got a couple of go on our match and our shouts, all right, because of the orange and
Yeah,
black
yeah.
from Dublin people. But the atmosphere and just the generosity of Dublin people was just something else. And it's something I'll never, ever forget. And just like that finish line with the purple carpet. And, oh, I'm getting chills thinking about it. I'm really regretting not putting my name into the ballot now for next year. Just talking
You
about
can
it.
still you can still get it. I,
Oh, yeah.
I I didn't get it in the ballot, but there's still the refund and there's still the transfers and
Yeah, yeah. Something will pop up.
yeah, yeah. But I do admire you from the point of view of, being a chairman of running club, and I know you're involved in the Cork City kind of commentaries and all that
Mm.
sort of stuff, and then your obvious job that must be, and to manage all these training blocks as well as all that is a pretty big ask, and you still seem to be smiling and laughing and celebrating through the whole lot.
I wouldn't have done it, Padraig, if it wasn't for my wife, Davina, because like I had secretly started training for a marathon, but I hadn't told her. Like I'd engaged Stevie to coach me. I was obviously working very hard in the gym. And we were having a bottle of wine one night, and Davina was like, "Did you just tell me you're training for a marathon?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm training for a marathon." And she's like, "I fucking know it." But she was kind of like, "Yeah, just go for it. Just go for it." And I managed my time a lot better. I didn't enjoy the training for Cork at all, but I managed my training block a lot better this time in that I was getting up to run at the crack of dawn. So I was still at home to help with the kids at the weekends. So I would get up at 6 in the morning, do my long runs. I'm back for 10 o'clock to bring the kids to their dancing class at 11 o'clock. So like the last time, it was kind of everything was left, almost all the parenting was left to Davina at the weekends because I had to go run and train and then recover. And she had to do all the kids stuff and all that. In the summer as well, because it's so bright, I started running at like 4:30 or 5 in the morning because I start work at 6. So I was running at 4:30 or 5 in the morning around the farm, which is just behind Red FM, which was great because I could park at work, go off, do my 6 or 7 miles for my easy run during the week and go into work. And that was huge in the time management thing as well, because then I'm not going out in the evenings. Davina's not at home on her own doing the homework and the dinners for the kids and stuff like that as well. So that made a massive difference. But if it wasn't for her saying, go on, do the marathon, I don't think I would have been able to do it without her, you know.
And your greatest sporting achievement was Cork or Dublin?
Dublin, I think. Like doing the first one in Cork was great. Like doing it, like I was supposed to do Dublin the year before, but I got COVID the week of it, and I wasn't fit enough for it anyway. Cork, I wasn't fit enough for it anyway. Did it anyway. Got around. Finishing in Cork was incredibly special.
Did you have anyone
That
special to give you your medal? I mean, I had a celebrity, so I was.
I'll give you a medal. I forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
amount of people who said that like was like it meant a lot to them that I was there to give them their medals. And like the guy running the medal part was kind of giving out to me for giving so many people medals. And I was like, I know these people, they're from my club or they're friends of mine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not just like, I kind of said to him, I only know one half of Cork, the other half knows me, you know? So I was just laughing. I was like, come here, these are my friends. So that was very, very special. Actually, that was actually giving medals to people at the finish line this year was one of like the most special things I think I've experienced in running, because it was just, it's a very emotional moment as you cross the finish line, and then when you get your medal, and then when you see a friend coming towards you with the medal to put it on your neck, I think that means a lot to people. Do you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
meant
yeah.
a lot to a lot of like my teammates and a lot of friends from other clubs and stuff like that as well. So that was very, very special. Actually, really, really enjoyed that. But Dublin was incredible because it was the combination of what I think was my best training block. I had text Stevie that year and I was like, I think I can go sub 4. And he was like, yeah, we'll get you to sub 4. We targeted 3:45 for Dublin. Was on pace for that after 30k. Didn't happen in the last 10k, but that's okay because I know that there's 10 minutes on the course that I can get back
Yeah.
for my next marathon. And I think with the right training and a couple more long runs, fingers crossed, staying injury free, I'd love to get 3:45, but to go under 4 in just my second marathon, it was a 47-minute PB from Cork, it was beyond my wildest dreams. So Dublin is always going to hold a very, very special place in my heart.
And it is, I mean, that's a fabulous achievement. Like, that's brilliant. But it's kind of non-stop crowds and cheering as well, whereas Cork has a lot of lonely bits in it, doesn't it? Whereas Dublin
100%.
was, and this year was shocking. And they were all out in the rain and just,
Yeah.
yeah, it
It's
was,
incredible. Yeah, that's the thing about Cork. There is lots of stretches, like, say from town, like from Tivoli down to the the tunnel up to Blackrock. There's no one there to support you, and then on Blackrock line, it can be quite lonely, and it can be quite mentally demanding. But it's worth it for that run into Patrick Street, that run up North Main Street, and that run into Patrick Street. The previous 20 miles of suffering, 100% worth it for that finish. Yeah, I think that turn from the Grand Parade onto Patrick Street is just it's very, very special.
Yeah.
And just to realize that you've run a marathon in your hometown, or a half marathon, or 10K, as the case may be, and you get to that finish line, it's incredible, and that's what makes Cork so special. It's just that finish. It's beautiful.
Yeah. It was, I mean, for me, as you say, it's emotional. I remember crossing the line and I was looking for my wife, but I was still emotional. And the same with Dublin. You just kind of you could just fill up, it's just a
100%.
culmination of all the training and everything, but it's so special to do it. That's in Dublin or Cork. It was definitely a special time. Goals for 2026 then is to do 2 more marathons, is it?
Hopefully, yeah, that's the plan. If I can get out running now tomorrow, that would be a big step in that. I'd love to do 2. I'd love to do a half marathon in Derry. I'm from Derry. I've never actually run in Derry. So I'd love to go home and run a marathon in Derry. A half marathon. I don't do the marathon in Derry anymore. There's a half marathon to start September. So I'm going to target that as well. But yeah, my wife is mad for me to do a marathon in a place like Rome or Paris or somewhere that isn't Dublin. So she gets a holiday out of it. So we'll have to have a look at that as well. But yeah, I'd love to do 2 marathons next year, and we'll see how it goes from there. What are you targeting for next year?
It's my podcast. You don't ask questions.
See, I'm so used to asking the questions. It's so unnatural for me to be talking about myself without asking questions.
No,
sorry, boss.
But listen, it's been a real pleasure, and I did want to thank you because, during around the time of the Runners Diary podcast, when you reached out, I was kind of just indirectly, and messages and the support always been very encouraging, and always kind of given me a good old boost. And even being there at the finish line in Cork was great. And even asking, agreeing to come on the podcast and reaching out in that is brilliant as well. So just thanks for all that. You've been a gem. So
thank you. Love listening to the podcast, and delighted to be on the podcast today. Number 20 as well, a big milestone. So congratulations.
Yeah, I forgot that. I was going to say that at the beginning. A lot of people say you never get there, and it's one of the few. So we've got to 20. But I did want to mark it by having you on for the 20th one.
That means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah. So listen, thanks very much. And that's Ruairi O'Hagan, our guest for this week, and delighted to have had him as a guest. And I do hope you enjoyed that particular episode. So for this week, thanks for listening, and keep on running.